One strategy that I have recently implemented in my business over the last year that has made me tons more money and tons more sales is style-based sourcing. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, my name is Kaylee. I am a full-time online reseller. And normally on my channel, I focus on high sell-through rate bolos with tons of data to back it up. Recently, I have been implementing a new strategy and adding an additional revenue stream by bringing in a new set of buyers and just gaining knowledge and feeling confident in an area where previously I would be passing on tons of items, even though they were right in front of me.
I made a mistake.
As I mentioned, this all has come about in the last year, and that is because back in January, we started a reseller mentorship group with myself, Nikki, and Trash Pandas. We have not discussed this much on my channel, but one of the reasons we decided to collectively partner together is because I have strengths, they have strengths, and together we cover all areas of reselling. So where I was focused on super high sell-through rate bolos with tons of data, they were focused on style-based sourcing, and that is where they really shine. The only reason I know as much as I do about style-based sourcing and have been able to add this to my sourcing strategy is all because of Sean and Bethany through Trash Pandas Thrift. In today's video, I am going to be doing a thrift haul, most of which is from the bins. I've got a small bag of stuff from a regular thrift store, but I've got multiple bags of stuff from the Goodwill outlet, and most of it is going to be stuff that I picked up strictly on style. You guys are going to hear a lot of style aesthetic keywords today when I am describing these items. And if you are hearing these words and you're thinking, you know what, I keep hearing this in the reseller community, I know it's popular and I know I should be using it in my listings, but I don't really know how to apply it, that is where Resellers Edge can come in. I highly encourage you to check out Resellers Edge. I will have a link down below in the description. It is an all-inclusive reseller mentorship group. We have so much more that I can't even get into today. The gist of our group is 3 things. We have a Facebook group where you can find community with your fellow resellers who are like-minded and all goal-oriented. We also have a course where we have tons of videos available to you, all the way from a beginner who is just starting reselling, all the way to someone who is already doing 6 figures. And then number 3, we have 3 times weekly live calls where you can hop on Zoom, listen to the topics that we have, as well as any Q&A that you guys have for reselling, we can discuss with you and your business. And that means on those Zoom calls, we can actually have you show us on your screen things that you're dealing with and be able to work through those questions with you visually and in person or virtual person. As soon as you get your course membership, you get immediate access to 1, 2, and 3, as well as tons of other resources and documents like our live bolo list, which contains over 600 bolos, now with the actual picture of the label. In addition to the course videos, we also have access to replays of all of our live calls. If you're hearing some of these words today and you're like, I don't know what any of these aesthetics are and I don't know how to use them, we have deep dives on all of these aesthetics. Consider joining Resellers Edge today by checking the link down below. And for one lucky winner, I am doing my first ever free month of Resellers Edge here on my channel. So one of you is going to win your first month free for Resellers Edge. If you have never checked it out, this would be a great opportunity to hop onto that giveaway. Or if you're someone that's like, I just want to check it out, link is down below for that as well. So in order to enter into our first Resellers Edge giveaway on this channel, make sure that you are subscribed to both myself and Trash Pandas Thrift. Comment down below which of our features on Resellers Edge you think you would use the most. I will have information on the screen about when this giveaway is going to end, when I will draw it, and that will also be in the description box. Now let's dive back into this haul. All right, you guys, so like I said, I have a ton of stuff. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the bag that was from the actual thrift store, and then we'll dive into the Goodwill bins. I do have several like actual bolo items to show you today, but a lot of it is going to be style based. So this first one is stuff I got from the regular thrift store. I actually just came from there. This is a marmot jacket. You can see I paid $15 for it. I actually did not even comp this. I just knew like $15 was gonna be a good price for this. So Marmot is an outdoor brand. This is a size extra large women's, and they make some really high quality pieces. I think it depends on what you have in Marmot as far as sell-through rate and average sale price, but in general, their outerwear, especially during this time of the year, goes for high amounts. This is a puffer jacket. And one of the reasons I felt so confident paying up for it was factor stacking reasons, which, by the way, I know you're going to hear a lot of style-based stuff today, and you're going to think that sounds kind of similar to factor stacking. They are completely different worlds, because with factor stacking, you can rely on comps, and with style-based pieces, you can't necessarily rely on comps. We also have a video in Resellers Edge where I discuss the difference, my strategies, how I price style-based stuff, and look it up and all of that. But factor stacking, a little bit different. So this is a factor stacking where I can actually look up the information. So this is a size extra large. It's got a fur hood. It is down, and not only is it a longer length and down, but it also is a really nice type of down, a 700 fill. If you guys ever see a specified down amount, look it up. It definitely increases the value. Plus, this is an amazing condition, perfect for the season. Like I said, I didn't do comps, but I know that $15 is a good price for that. Even if I only sold it for $50, I would still be making quite a bit of money, but I'm honestly thinking probably closer to $100 on that item. This was such a great find, especially in my area. I don't come across a lot of high-end brands in my small town, which is why I travel so far. This I actually found in my town. This is Zarina. Excellent brand to look for. Women's size small. This is a tie-dye top, button up. I have to look up the exact style and everything, but I would say at least 35 to 40 for that one. This surprisingly was not priced up, which is funny because they normally do price this up in my area now. These are in excellent condition. They are Lululemons. I don't know the exact style. I gotta find the size dot and look it up. They do appear to be one of the newer styles. They're in really crisp condition. I want to say they're the Aligns, and if they are, probably 35 to 40 on those. And if there's something else, I gotta look up the comp for that. All right, let's just go ahead and dump this guy. All right, we're still on the regular thrift store stuff. I found this plus size piece. This is Foxcroft. This is definitely one of my favorite brands to pick up in plus sizes. They do make smaller sizes, so be careful. The sell-through on the plus size stuff is really, really good. This is just a pretty plain button-up top. I actually found this in the men's department, but it is women's. I don't expect anything crazy with those. That's probably gonna be a $25, sometimes $30 flip with those, but bread and butter for sure. This one's a factor stacking piece. This is Lauren Ralph Lauren, size 10, 100% silk. I normally don't get Ralph Lauren or any of the Ralph Lauren lines in women's tops unless they're plus size, but this had some really great factors besides the fact that it was silk. So this right here, this crest is the main reason that I got it. Anytime I see a crest on a Ralph Lauren piece, I know that it's instantly jacking up the price. So I'm actually going to use that keyword crest in my title as well. I got to look up some info about this, but I would say probably around $40 for that. But that is an exception that I make for that brand. This actually, even though I bought it at a thrift store at full price, I paid $7.99. This is actually a style-based piece. I wouldn't memorize this brand, Signature by Robbie B, but this is a fantastic style-based piece. This is a size 10. I'm starting to feel a lot more confident with paying up for style-based pieces, especially in the dresses category. I feel like I've really got it down. Things have been really paying off. I'm selling a lot of dresses like this for $85, $100, $125. This one's a little bit more plain, so probably towards the lower end, around like $75, maybe slightly lower, but it is a full-length maxi velvet top, and it's kind of got an iridescent black red, which is screaming whimsy goth to me. It's got a slit, perfect for this time of the year. Like everybody's doing the dark colors for fall, but also Halloween. I might also add the keyword vampire for that one. Like I said, I'll do a little bit of research on that, but at least 50, but I'm thinking more towards 75 for that. If it had some more embellishments, I would jack the price up a little. This is also a style based. This is the limited size large. Actually, might try this on. I think it's actually a little like slip dress nighty kind of thing, or it's just a much longer length top. Actually, might just be a longer length top. It's got 2 side slits, which is indicative of like a tunic top. This is a really pretty reddish purple cami top with some lace details, also screaming very whimsy goth to me. And again, perfect colors for this time of the year. I am gonna try this one on. If I don't end up keeping it, then I'll probably list that for around 30. Next up, this is another factor stacking, not to be confused with style base, factor stacking. This is a plus size top, Silkland. This is a 100% linen size 2X, longer length, embroidery, tie-dye, bell sleeves, lots of great things going for it. I would expect probably around 25 to 30 for that one. Next up, one of my favorite brands. I try to stick to plus sizes in Eileen Fisher. This is just a size large. However, it is a little bit more of a substantial piece, and it is very on trend with the color and season that we're in. This is like a little waterfall cardigan. Kind of has like grungy vibes to it too, which is interesting for Eileen Fisher. Probably 30 to 35 on that one. And then this is the last thrift store piece before we dive into the Goodwill bins, which I also went to today. I am exhausted. Not the strength, energy. I haven't worked that up for the bins quite yet, but I am trying. This is Dana Buckman Woman. I would not memorize this brand. But this is a factor stacking piece, size 3X, one of the most desirable sizes in my opinion. And even though it's not necessarily a bolo brand in plus sizes, it is a 3X, very on trend with the reds and the blacks. We have also a sheer sleeve. This was another very on trend piece. I'll probably only ask 25 for it because even though it is on trend, it still is not a solid brand. So I kind of weigh that in. All right. We are now diving into the bins haul. Like I said, I got quite a bit of stuff here, but yeah, let's dive into it. Some of these are bolos, but most of them are style based. This is Old Navy. Again, not a brand I would necessarily memorize. This is a midi length skirt. This is giving me very fairy grunge vibes with the darker colors. It's got some micro floral. And yeah, I thought this was perfect for the season. Some of these style-based pieces, I'm only going to ask maybe like 20, 25 for, which before I was like, you know, I'm not willing to take anything less than $25. That was when I had in my mind 5 into 25 was my minimum for everything. I created a goal setter document for Resellers Edge where you can basically plug and play your numbers, like your cost of goods, how much you're willing to list per week, etc. I was playing around with that and I realized that I got about the same net profit from a $2 into 20 as I did a 5 into 25 piece. So I was like, it's the same net profit. Why am I so worried about the gross sales amount? Once I realized that, I was like, okay, I'm cool with the 2 into 20, but it's got to be from the bins where my cost of goods is low. I think my cost of goods actually is on average, I've been calculating it out. One of the things I'm working on right now in our business is lowering cost of goods just because we're spending so much every single week to get some more cash flow going in. One of the strategies with that is I'm going to the bins, and my average cost of goods, since I'm tracking that, has generally been from the bins about $1.50, but I like to round up to 2 just to account for error and to have more margin. This next one is probably going to end up on a live show. This is Rosie Niera. This is an Anthropologie brand. This one's a size medium. This isn't an Anthropologie brand I normally get, but it is Anthropologie, and this is also very on trend. It is an open knit linen blend sweater, and it's like an orangey, like pumpkin orange color. I'm gonna set that over there. So that's one of the reasons I grabbed that one. This is also a brand I do like to pick up, especially at the bins. It is Spanx. This one I'm also going to put on a live show. It is a size small pair of camo leggings. Spanx has gone down in sell-through rate in a lot of things. They still have their perfect pant that does really well. They still have a lot of shapewear stuff that does really well. The leggings that used to be like bolos all day long have become kind of oversaturated. I get them and I just price them lower than everyone else. They do tend to move, but now they're more of a bread and butter. So if I were listing that myself, I'd probably only expect about 25. All right, this is a factor stacking. This is Tahari. This is 100% cashmere with no holes. So I said, absolutely yes, I'm always getting cashmere with no holes at the bins. This is just good bread and butter for us. We'll probably list that for around 25. This one is a bolo, however, it needs work. I always find the best pieces in the throwback area. It's one of the places I check multiple times while I'm at the bins, where everyone is throwing stuff back. I almost always find something great there. It's usually because there's a small spot and it needs a tiny bit of work. This one does have a couple things surface that I'm gonna have one of my employees clean. I now pay someone to clean all of our stuff. She is so much better at it than I ever was, and she enjoys doing it, so it's a win-win. Now I don't feel as bad picking up pieces that need a little bit of work because I know I'm not going to get to it, but now I pay somebody to do that and it's working out really well. So this was a throwback era. This is the brand Adirondack, and this is a good brand to look for in chunky wool sweaters, size extra large. This one is a chunky, thick fisherman sweater. You can see there's a couple spots of surface dirt. I'm gonna have Mandy clean that right up. Any brand, I'm not gonna pass on a chunky, thick wool fisherman sweater. This is a style-based pickup. This is not a brand I would memorize, Shoreline. This gave me very fairy grunge vibes, and also the corset detail, perfect for this time of the year, very on trend. This is a strapless tunic top, and it has a tulip split hem with some beautiful embroidery, dark contrast, florals. I might actually price that one up slightly at like 27 or something like that. Slip pieces have been performing extremely well for me, and there's some particular vintage brands in the slip category that do pretty well. Vanity Fair, I would say, is one of them, depending on what you have. This one is a triple XL, so I thought that added some value to it. It is a little slip skirt, and I can totally see somebody wearing this with an outfit, especially right now with fall Halloween. It's got a lace trim, probably only 20 to 25 bucks, but again, I'm making the same net profit. I've been picking these up at the bins. I think I am going to slow down on them because I've actually found quite a bit lately. The sell-through rate is still pretty good. It's about 50 to 75% on these, but we are still selling them pretty well. I think I'm going to start cutting that off soon, but they are the thick, keyword thick, men's Y2K cargo shorts. These are the vintage Old Navy ones, Y2K. Again, super thick. These ones are really interesting. They have the cargo pockets, and they also have this little seat area. So I thought that was a different touch. We're gonna list probably all of these for 25 to 30. This is a Gap one, loose leg cargo. Again, super thick. This one has the kind of distressed look and some drawstrings that also add value. So it is the little details sometimes that can really take your listing above your competition, where your buyers are looking at yours instead of your competition. Or maybe it's the extra little details that drive what's normally a $20 sale into a $25 sale is how I like to look at it. This is another Old Navy. Again, these are thick. These also come with a chunky Y2K belt and have a little bit of distressing at the bottom. Definitely thick in Y2K. All those probably 25 to 30. This is definitely bread and butter. This is J. Crew Vintage Fleece. In the men's department, this line in J. Crew performs pretty decent for me. This is a color block sweatshirt. Where the color block's at kind of gives me Y2K vibes, so I might use that keyword. The vintage fleece line performs pretty well for me. I'm probably only going to ask 20 to 25 for that. All right, this is a Y2K men's Abercrombie and Fitch hoodie. I am absolutely looking for these. This is also their muscle line, which I think is going to add a little bit of value. You got the huge spell out on the front. It's blue, it is a size medium, it's fleece lined. It's a little bit different style than the ones I normally get, so I just need to see, like, is it gonna go for less? Is it gonna go for more? I have a feeling it's gonna be on the lower end because there's no hood or a full zip or something like that, but I still think a great piece, at least 35 for that one. This is a brand I have been experimenting with at the bins, and it does have pretty decent comps. I'm not going to say it's 100% sell-through rate, but it is a pretty decent comp, somewhere between 50 and 100. So I'll just use better keywords or undercut the market. It is performing well for us. It is Soma. These are just a pair of women's pajama pants, but these are wide leg floral with a dark background floral. I think these will do well. I'm probably just going to list these for 20 just to make sure that they move. These athletic dresses have been performing extremely well in just about any brand. I would call this a dupe of some of the better brands, but this is just Old Navy, and it is a power chill dress with the shorts underneath. I'm going to list this at about 25 just because it's a size small. I'll probably use keywords like tennis and sporty for sure. This is Patagonia. I'm definitely going to pick up every Patagonia I see at the bins. This is their Capilene silk weight. So is this silk? I think it's 100% polyester. It just is light like silk. It's so hard to see with the contrast. I think this is a women's size small long sleeve. All these Capilene stuff, easy 20, 25 bucks for me. I'll have to look up the silk weight though and the color because that's a nice like bright fuchsia pink. At least 20. Plus size pieces are my favorite to get at the bins because pretty much nobody picks them up. They're about $1, $1.50 for me, and it drastically decreases my cost of goods because I do pick up plus size stuff at regular thrift stores, but it's $4 to $5 usually. So if I can supplement my pickups at the bins with plus size stuff, it drastically reduces my cost of goods. Nobody's picking it up. So this is a Dress Barn size 2X. A lot of these plus size things I'm only going to list for 20, 25. Some of them maybe 30 if they have some great features or they're a better brand. This one I'll probably do 25. It is mostly all lace. It's a really nice green color. I just learned a little bit about this brand. This is a Beautiful Soul, which is now Arula. And I think that this C here means 3X. I was having a hard time because it's no longer a brand finding the size chart, but everyone else had it listed, the C's as 3X's. And I think that's right, given the size that I'm looking at. This is a beautiful, I'm gonna call it a tunic top. And it has beautiful embroidery front and back. It has some ruffle flare sleeve details. I'll probably list that for 25. This was a style-based pickup. This is just Eddie Bauer. This is a vintage rayon silk women's velvet blue. I don't know if you'll even be able to tell in the camera, but it is like that iridescent velvet, very trendy for the whimsy goth category, as well as sometimes fairy grunge. I would call this more whimsy goth. Beautiful, like dark, deep midnight blue. And yeah, probably 25 to 30 on that one. Those are really easy style-based pickups. All right, one bag down, another huge one to go. This was another style-based pickup. This one actually does not have a brand. This is just, again, style-based, but it is a sheer, lacy, kind of witchy, fairy goth type thing with some sequins, kind of off the shoulder, but this sheer meshy looking stuff, definitely trendy and a lot of aesthetics. Again, if you want to learn about those, come over to Resellers Edge. And it also has one side slit, which I thought was a really excellent detail. Stuff like this, I always make sure to put on the mannequin so that the sheerness of it can be seen. I'm actually going to put this in one of our plastic bags because sometimes the sequins can pull onto the other stuff in the tote. Next up I need to look these up. I was just thinking about these when I went to the bins first and then to the thrift store. Do you ever does it ever hit you a mistake that you made earlier that day, like out of nowhere? Somehow it hit me in the middle of thrifting. I was like, wait a minute. I threw a pair of floral leggings into my bag and I don't remember comping them. And I knew that I needed to. It just hit me all of a sudden. And I was like, somebody must have stolen them out of my bag. But no, here they are. I'm not going to show you those because I honestly don't even know. I meant to comp them first and I don't know if they're good. So I'll have to come back to those. But yeah, let me know if that ever hits you. It's like the worst feeling in the world. Anyways, this is a pair of men's shorts. I looked at these because they looked like some pretty high quality athletic shorts, had all the signs that most of the luxury ones do. And then I realized that they're more like a lounge short. So they're really soft, like modal feeling. And then I looked at this tag. It said Peruvian cotton and made in Peru. Anytime I see a brand that's made in Peru, it always makes me want to look it up, and it usually ends up being good. This brand actually was pretty good. I saw some mixed comps, but here is a flaw. So we're not listing these, but I'll go ahead and show you the brand. It is Daniel Buckler. These are a pair of Peruvian Pima cotton shorts. The ones that were like this were going for about 25 to 30, so that's why I grabbed this, but I did not realize because you can't tell. Well, you can tell. I just didn't tell because it hid, but there's a little rip right there. So we're actually going to toss these. Thank goodness I didn't pay much for that. All right, this is another intimates pajama thing. Any of the soft modal feeling things in the pajamas category I'm looking up. This looked like something interesting. It was called Jambies. I actually looked this brand up. Again, not 100% sell-through rate, but a pretty good sell-through rate. So at the bins, I took a risk. This is called their Jam Tee, and I think their things are unisex. I'm going to market this as a women's. Here's our little logo, and I'll probably ask about 20 bucks for that one. This is a factor stacking plus size piece. This is the brand White Stag. I don't normally get this brand, but this was a 3X. Remember I said before, 3X is a really great size, adds a lot of value. This is a very cute, almost cottage core kind of top. It's got some lacy details here. I'll probably ask 25 for that. I actually got this dress for myself to try on. If I don't keep it, we will definitely list it. This is Gap. Not normally a brand I get, but this was very on trend style-wise. It's a size extra large, and it's like a sheer flutter sleeve, oversized, tiered dress. You can definitely tell there you'll have to wear a slip underneath. And it just had some really on trend details, and then you can't really see very well. There's like a whole lot of little embroidery throughout that are very, very pretty. So I'm gonna try this on, and if not, I will list it, and I'll probably list it for around 25 to 30. And next up, this is a Bolo brand. I was actually surprised. This was in a picked over bin, and it was probably my best find at the bins today. I was getting a little discouraged by not finding too many Bolo brands, but this turned it around for me. This is Relwyn. Excellent men's brand to find, especially if you can find their outerwear pieces. They sell for so much money. I have found Relwyn quite a few times. Not a lot of people know about it. Excellent brand. This is a men's cream orange button down shirt. I have not sold this brand in a while, so I can't remember. I want to say about 40 on that. This is Jones New York. I don't get a ton of this brand. It's not a Bolo brand by any means, but this is a plus size, and it's 100% silk, and it's a wrap dress, and it's long sleeve, and it's got a matching sash, and it's like a dark grungy green color, very on trend for the season, and it's longer length, so all the factor stacking. I might actually price this one at like maybe $35. We'll have to see. This one could go so many different ways. This is not a brand I would memorize, but here is the brand. This is a larger size, extra large, and this is an open knit cardigan. I could see this going so many different ways. You can drop in the comments for this black open knit cardigan. What aesthetics do you think this falls under? Because I could see it going under so many. The obvious ones are the Halloween. type ones just because of the black. I'll probably list that for about 25. Catherine's Suprema collection actually does pretty well for me. I normally try to stick to some kind of embellishment or extra factor or print, but with the Suprema collection, I've noticed that people are willing to buy the plain stuff. So this is a black Henley top. Nothing too special. Probably will sell that for 20 to 25. I found this beautiful Maeve by Anthropologie silk top, size 8. I think I'm going to put this in a live show as well. This thing is stunning. Beautiful. It also has this little pleating detail at the bottom, whatever you call that, but it's gorgeous. I think that one's going to go in a live show. I might also put this one in a live show. This is Rachel Zoe, which I've started to learn people follow. Not as high of a sell-through rate. It really depends on the piece, but I have had people in my live shows go kind of nuts for Rachel Zoe, so I'm going to try this out. And if it doesn't flip on the live sale, I will list it myself. This is a beautiful maxi length skirt. You can see the mixed prints, tassel details, and what really sold it for me was the full button and then the smocking detail here where it kind of cinches at the waist a little bit, but it is a full length. I just think this is so beautiful. All right, I did find 2 pairs of shoes actually. Both have decent wear. You can see this one's heel. Although the heel is good, it has a couple of chunks out of the side. Not too bad, but these are Sorels, and I have not sold the style in a while, but when I did sell my last pair that were like this, I remember them because they reminded me of the Handmaid's Tale boots. If you know, you know. And I remember the style doing particularly well and being more sought after. Could that have changed within the last year? Absolutely, but I was not going to pass on a nice pair of Sorel boots at the bins. So I'm going to look those up and hopefully they're still a really nice bolo. My other shoes also have significant wear. I had to get them though because it is my first time ever finding these that I'm pretty sure I can remember. If I have, it's been so long I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure this is my first time finding them in person. And you know, when things are a bolo, but then you don't find them for a couple years and they might not longer be a bolo. I have a feeling that'll be the same with these, but I got them just to say I could check it off my bolo list. They're a pair of teaks. You might recognize them by the bottoms. They're a pair of size 10 leather flats. They do have some wear on the back, so we'll see. We'll see on these, but I had to get them. You know, I had to check that off my list. I actually found 2 of this exact shirt just in different colors. This is a factor stacking piece. This is the brand Capezio, which I'm not familiar with. It does appear to be vintage, but this is a 100% silk oversized button-up top. I thought these colors were perfect for fall, the grungy green and then the orange. The thing that really sold it for me is it has a bishop sleeve. So it is silk and it's got the bishop sleeve and it's a button-up. All good things. Here's another style-based piece. This brand's actually pretty decent depending on what you have, what aesthetic it falls under for vintage stuff. Nicole Miller. This is another open knit situation. Like I said, could go so many ways. This is a dark brown, another popular color right now. Open knit, also like a baby doll style. Hard to tell, but there is an empire waist here. And it does cinch too. It cinches. I get all the vibes with this one. One that I'll probably use for this is witchy and probably like fairy grunge for that one. This is another plus size piece. This is Charter Club. I'm really careful with size 1X because I feel like that's the worst size in plus size as far as sell-through rate goes. But this is a 1X. It's longer length. It's got some definite added value with the pattern. And then there's also beading on the front. So that was the reason I grabbed this one. I'm also going to fold this one so that the beading doesn't snag anything. I'll probably list that one 20 to 25. This one I'm going to try on. If I don't like it, I will also list it because it's a great style-based piece. This is not a brand I would memorize, but this is a size extra large. This is very like cottagecore coquette. Got some eyelet details. I love the silhouette of this, very trendy with the puff sleeves. It also has some smocking in the back. So I'll try that on and see, and if not, I will list it probably around 20, which is what I've been selling tops like that for. Okay, I did have some luck towards the end. I think it was the last bin I went through, which was picked over. It was a newer bin. Everybody had scoured through it and then people left, and there was still a lot of really great stuff in there. I was very happy to find these. This isn't a brand that is as amazing as it used to be, but still has really great comps and is a little bit more rare to find. It is Prairie Underground, and this is a size large, so I think that's really going to help. This is 100% organic cotton, and it is a little tunic slash dress situation. I love the mauve details, and it feels practically brand new. I haven't checked comps on that in a while, but I'm hoping for at least 40 on that. This is the group by Babaton. I believe this brand is sold out of Aritzia. They make some pretty high quality pieces. I don't know what a size 1 is, so I gotta look that up, but this is a super cute flannel top. I would say 1 is probably like a medium, but super cute flannel top. It's very thick and you can tell it's high quality. And I will definitely, I'm pretty sure the group by Babaton is sold at Aritzia. So I'll just double check that. And then if so, I'll make sure to add Aritzia to my title. But yeah, I thought that was a great piece. Little flannel situation, super cute. This was a plus size pickup. This is Maurice's. Don't get this brand a lot. This was a size 2X. It is new with tags, and although it is sleeveless, it does seem very on trend, almost a baby doll style. It's got ruffle detail, and I love the rust red on that, so I'm gonna list that for 20 to 25. Here's a couple of style-based pieces. These could technically be a set, but I think I'm gonna list them separately. I cannot even read this brand. I think it might say, oh, it says Ivory, which is funny because it's not white. Regardless of brand, this was a style-based pickup. I could see whimsy goth and fairy grunge with this, as well as quite a few other keywords that are going to get this item to sell. This is a sheer, stretchy, metallic, sparkly top. Probably will only ask about 20 to 25 for that. I'm gonna turn this inside out so it doesn't snag anything. And then this is the exact same brand, I believe. Yep. And this one is a cardigan. Same keywords. I'm probably still only going to list this one also for 20 to 25. Let me somewhat turn this inside out so we don't snag anything. All right, a few more pieces here. This one's for me. It's just a black tank top. This was a pretty cool find. I have sold this brand before. This brand is so weird because it either sells for a ton of money or it sits and never sells. I'm glad I got it at the bins. It's a size large, so I feel pretty confident. It's more popular on Poshmark, but this brand sold at Anthropologie. It is Tanviketia, and all of their pieces have these really nice patterns. I feel confident in this one because it is a longer length. It is a size large, like I mentioned, and it does have these like sequin details to it. So I said yes to that one. We will do some comps on the exact style, but I'm hoping for at least 40 on that. This is a newer athletic brand that has been doing very well for me. Good sell-through rate, Young LA. These are a men's size small pair of joggers. These will probably go for 25 to 30. They're in excellent condition. This was another style-based pickup. I'll show you the brand, but it's not one I would memorize. This is a size large, and it is a vintage Y2K, beautiful color. Should I keep this one? I actually kind of like this one. I don't know if I would actually wear this. I love purple, but I don't know if I'd wear this shade. It is a beautiful midi length, satiny looking with some asymmetric hem, which is very trendy right now. I could definitely use the keyword fairy, Y2K, all the things with this. Do I try it on? I just have a feeling it would sit in my closet. I'm more of a neutral girly. I'll probably list that one kind of high just because it is extremely on trend, probably around 40 for that one. And so I said in the beginning, style base most of the time is more bread and butter, but then you get pieces like that where all of the stars have aligned in that aesthetic. If you want to learn what those stars are to align, come on over to Resellers Edge where we can really spend some time deep diving things with you. But when all the stars align, they're not bread and butter, they're bolos. They sell for a lot of money. This is another style base. This is INC again. This one is new with tags. This has that coquette structure to it. I could also see fairy grunge with this. Sheer puff sleeves. I thought that one was cute as well. I'll probably list that for 20 to 25. Here is the other Prairie Underground piece I found. This one's a medium large. I'm not familiar with the Prairie Underground labels because I find it so little, but this looks like an older label to me. This is a really nice oversized gauzy top. They use really nice sustainable materials and they're made in Seattle, made in USA. I will look this one up as well, but I'm hoping for about 40 and up for that one. Just a couple more pieces here. This one is a plus size piece. This one's very plain, but this is a brand that I've been wanting to test out. Do you ever just like, I want to try selling that brand? So the bins is a great place to take risks, just not many risks. This is a risk item for me. This is woman within size 2X, and it's pretty plain long sleeve pink shirt, but I have been selling this brand at bread and butter prices for sure. I might only list this one for like 15 to 20, but I want to see how it goes because I do come across it pretty often. Okay, I actually have 2 more pieces to show you. I'm about to do a men's hat deep dive in the Resellers Edge group, and I was doing my research the other day to prep for that. I'm still doing it. I have so many screenshots on my phone to go through. One of the things I did notice is that there were a ton of vintage 90s Nike hats that were going for just absolutely insane prices. For that reason, I wanted to pick this one up. This one actually is missing its tag. I do believe that this is a vintage 90s beanie just based on the item and the way the logo looks. So I was like, how timely that I literally just looked this up yesterday to start getting notes on that deep dive. And here we are, we found it. That's always how it happens. I know some of you have said, every time I watch one of your hauls or sold videos, I literally find one of the bolos that day, which is really cool. So I think it's just when it's the forefront of the mind, you know what to look for. I grabbed this. Again, the tag is missing, but I am going to attempt to sell this. And I do think that the colorway, the shape of the Nike, like you can tell it is vintage. I don't know what I'm going to list that for because there were some crazy comps on the Nike vintage stuff. I just need to do a little more deep diving to figure out what I'm going to price that for. And the last item is just another Soma piece. This is a little nightgown, again with the modal soft feel. I'll probably list this for about 20, but that's another brand I'm testing out and want to see, but it so far has been performing pretty well for me. All right, so that is the end of the haul. I can see that this is going to be a long one, probably going to be a 45 to 50 minute haul. Thank you guys. Let me know if you like the long hauls down below. I try to do a mix. I know some of you prefer short, some of you prefer long. So this is for those of you that like the long ones. I do enjoy sharing the Goodwill outlet hauls only because I don't feel like I do enough of them. If you want to see more of the Goodwill outlet hauls, I am going to the Goodwill bins more frequently. And let me know if you like the including the style-based ones. And yeah, consider joining Resellers Edge. It's an amazing wealth of information. If I learned something just from the other leaders in the group, you will absolutely learn something from both parties. So like I said, it's just such a mutual, like perfect yin and yang where we are both focusing on opposite sides. So you can learn, if you're more style-based sourcing, you're going to learn a tremendous amount from them. If you're more the numbers, sell-through rate, like you want to see the tags, the brands, the bolos, that's, you know, my side, I've got that down. And then if you want to learn both, which is what a lot of members in our group are doing, definitely consider joining. And don't forget about that giveaway. I don't know how many giveaways we're going to do for Resellers Edge and free months, but this is a perfect opportunity for one of you lucky winners to check it out. So make sure to join that giveaway. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.